over here, this is basically the home page of Canva. First thing first, let's go to the videos option, and from here I will take the size of 1920 into 1080 pixels. Okay, so let's click right over here and it will just create me a preset in which I'm going to work on. Okay, so over here, coming to this particular place, let's go to elements, and from elements, what I need to do is I need to go and find out some shapes. Okay, let's say I do want to come here and I do want to take out this shape. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to place this shape out. Okay, let's say I will just place this shape out right over here. If you do want to increase the size, you guys can come here and you guys can increase the size. And at the same time, what you need to do is you need to select till where you do want to increase it. Okay, let's say I do want to increase it till here. And also I can just select what kind of color am I looking for. Okay, so you guys can basically try with different color options. Okay, let's say you guys can just go with this color as well. Let's come here. If I do need to change the color later, I will do that later over here. And from the same elements option, you guys can search for 3D bike rider. Okay, so I'll just click on enter, and here you guys can see I do have these bike riders right over here. Okay, so from here what I can do is I can come here and I can just select this, or this particular color I will basically change it to blue. Okay, so once I do have changed it to blue, let's come here, let's take out this one, and now I can just flip this one, let's say horizontally over here. And now I can just place this thing right over here as well. Okay, so let's say I do want to come over here. Let's say I do want to come over here. And at this particular point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to put this thing up. Okay, so if you do want to put out some animation, let's come here. Let's select the back option first. And from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this animate option. And from animate option, I can basically select what kind of animation am I looking for. Okay, so you guys can just go with this baseline option. And once I take this baseline option, I will come here and I will just select this arrow, which actually sounds towards the top. Okay, so over here, I will just apply this one. And at the same time, what I can do is I can just increase the speed. Let's say I will come here and I can just increase the speed quite like this. And after that, what you can do is let's select this one. And after selecting this one, I will go the same animate option. And from this animate option, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to select this option of wipe. Okay, so from the wipe option here, you guys can actually select this one over here. Let's select the direction. And also you guys can actually check how it looks. Okay, let's come here. If you do want to place it, you guys can come here and you guys can basically place it over here. And let's try to play this thing up. Okay, so this is how it will actually look. But let's move this one towards the side over here. And also if you just work on with the baseline, let's say I can just use this particular direction. But over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here, but over here, I will just decrease the speed a lot. Okay, so this is how you guys can actually work. Okay, let's just play this one. Okay, let's come here, and this is how you guys can see it will actually work. Okay, so what I can also do is I can just maintain the timing over here. Okay, let's say I do want to maintain at what time this actually enters the scene. Okay, so for that, I will just right click, and from here, I will just click on show timing. Okay, so for that, I want it to come right over here. And now let's say I do want it to appear slowly. In that case, now let's place it over here and let's select this one. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here and I can just select the timing. Let's say if I do decrease the speed, okay, let's say I will just come over here and slowly I want it to appear. Let's say I will just decrease it a bit as well. Okay, let's come here and over here I do want to stop, and from here now I want it to appear. Okay, and at the same time I will just come here and let's just see how it actually looks. And also once it comes quite over here, I do want to add another frame. Let's say I will just come here, it actually comes here and basically stops. And what I'm going to do is at this particular point, let's say I will just go with smoke. Okay, so I'll just click on to the smoke option, and from the smoke option, and what I can do is I can come here, I can just take this particular thing right over here, and now I can just give this one some colors. Okay, so I'll just try to give this one some colors, and at the same time, let's just give this one up a rotation as well. So 90-degree rotation over here. And now what I can do is I can just place this thing over here. So I'll just place it right over here itself. Okay. So let me just move this one. Let me just select this one and let me just move this one right over here. Okay. So I'll just move this one right over here. But also I do want to check out the timing. Okay. So once it appears right over here, and I do want it to move it only till this place. Okay, so now if I just come here, if I just drag this one out, let me just play this. This is how it will appear, and now this is how it will appear over here as well. Okay, let's come to this first scene. Okay, and if you do want to add anything, let's say if you want to come here, and from here if you directly want to apply anything, you guys can also do that. Okay, so let's come here, let's play this thing up. Here basically the bike will appear, and over here the smokes. Okay, so I hope till this much we are clear. And now after this appears, okay, once all of this thing appears right over here, what you need to do is I will come here and let me just place it 0.5. Let's select this one, and over here now let's just play this whole thing out again. Let's come and let's play this one, and here it's actually ending to this particular point. Okay, so at the same time if you come here and let's increase the size, let's increase the size over here as well. Okay, so let me just select this one, and what you're gonna do is you gotta go to this baseline option, and now I will just select only on enter. Okay, so I just want it only on enter, and now once it will be there, what I want to do is I want to basically put out a text. Okay, let's say I will just go to the text option, and from here now I will just like type, let's say need a ride, and what I can do is I can just put out an exclamation mark as well. Okay, so I will just select both of this. Let's come here, let's try to select what kind of font. Okay, so I'll just come here, I will try to select a font, and I will just place it right over here, and I can actually change its timing as well. Okay, so I will just come over here, and from here now let me just go to this elements option, and from elements option let's come here, let's select shape, and let's come to this particular position, and let me just place it right over here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place it over here in the exact center. Okay, so now let's increase the space, and now let's select this thing up, let's go to text color, and let's give this up a white text color. Okay, so once I have given up this particular thing, let's say I will just increase its timing to 7.5 over here, and now at the same time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here, and I'm going to select, or let's say I will just put on book now. Okay, let's come here, let's go to elements, and I will just select the rounded rectangle box. Okay, so let's come here, let's select this rounded rectangle box, and over here now I'm gonna type book now. Okay, so let me just place it right over here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this one up a green color. Okay, let's go to this particular option, and from here now let me just give this one up a blue color, and now I will just take out the text. Let's add a text box, and I will just type book now. Let me just increase the size, let's select both of this, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out this particular text, and I'm gonna put it right over here. Okay, so now this is basically done. So now what I can do is I can just select this text out. Okay, so if you do want me to see the timing, let's say I will just come here and let me just play this one. And here you guys can see it will appear quite like this. Let's say once it appears over here at this particular point. Now what I want to do is I want to come here and I want to just go back, and let's say I do want to increase its timing exactly to 10 seconds. Okay, so I'll just make it a 10-second video, and from here now I will just come to this particular position, and this is how it will appear. And what I'm gonna do is first I will just take out this particular box. Okay, not this particular box over here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna decrease its timing. Let's say I will come here, and this particular box basically should appear at this exact point. Okay, so this box should basically appear. Let's go to animate, and I want it to just drift. Okay, otherwise let's come here, and if you want it to appear quite like this, I want it to appear quite like this over here. And after that, I will just select this particular text. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to place this need a write option over here. And next thing, I will just come to this particular option. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here. Let's say I will just decrease it over here. Let's select this one. Okay, so let's come here and I will just decrease it quite over here as well. Okay, so let me just show how it actually looks. It will just appear quite over here, and after that it will just appear quite like this. Okay, so if you do want to animate all those things as well, let's come here and let's just use this write option. So I can just use this rise option over here, and the same way I will just select this particular text. Let's go with the wipe. Okay, and also you guys can just increase the speed over here, and also under this need a write, I just want to have this wipe option. Okay, so let me just decrease the speed over here a little bit as well. Okay, so here you guys can see need a write, and this is how it will appear. So this one is basically done. I hope you guys do have understood this class as well, how you can actually create this kind of commercials. And if you want to put for what company, let's say I can just put out a logo. Let's go to elements, and from here now let's type logo, and you guys can just click on enter, and here you guys can see there are a lot of logos which you guys can use. Okay, let's say from here I will just take out this logo, and I can just place this thing over here in corner all the time. Okay, so I can just come here, and at the starting itself I will just apply some animation. Okay, let's say I will just come here and I want it to animate throughout. Okay, so let me just decrease the intensity, and now let's place this one, and throughout the video you guys can see this particular thing will keep on moving. Here you guys can see how it actually appears, and this is how you guys can actually create some stunning videos. And if you don't want to see or hide the timing, you guys can come here and basically hide the timing from here as well. Okay, so for the final product, this is how it actually looks. Okay, so this is how it will appear, and here you guys can see need a ride. You guys can come here and you guys can just book now. Okay, so once you are done, let's say you are done with this thing. Now the last thing which is left is the audio. Okay, so for audio you guys can just come here onto your elements option. Let's click on see all, and from here you guys can check different kind of audios. Okay, let's say travel. Okay, so I'll just search travel. I'll click on enter. Here you guys can see there are a lot of options. Let me just play this. Let's play this as well. Otherwise, so I feel this one only sounds good. Let's come here, drag this one, and let's drop this music right over here. Okay, so I'll just drop this music right over here. And now if you do want to play this thing up, let's say if you do want to play it, you guys can play this. So yeah, I hope you guys do have understood this particular class. Let's say if you do want to change its positioning, let's say I will come here and now I do want to play it. Let's come to this particular position, and now let's try to play it. So yeah, this is the final product. And before saving it, the last thing what I want to do is I just want to animate this one as well. Okay, let's come here, and over here, let's try to see. Let's go with this one. Otherwise, let's go with this baseline option. Okay, from baseline, let's go with this one. Okay, and from here, now what I want to do is I do want to go it from the left to right. Okay, I don't want it to appear from top. Let's come here. Let's check this out. Okay, so let's say this one. Otherwise, let's come right over here. And yeah, this one basically looks good. I can just decrease the speed as well from here. Okay, so I'll just decrease the speed. And lastly, let's see how it looks. And yeah, this one looks up a lot better. So I hope you guys do have understood this class on how you can actually create a quick pop-up video tutorial. And lastly, let's go to share option. And from here, let's click on download. Make sure to download in an MP4 video format. Check out the quality which you want and click on download. So I hope to see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone. Hello everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of the graphic designing and video editing in Canva. So now we are on our chapter number 12, where I'll be creating an animated video in Canva. So I'll be showing you guys the steps of how you can create an animated video, what all you need to do over here. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So again, now I'm over here at the home page of Canva. So from here, let's go to the videos option, and from videos, let's take 1920 to 1080 pixels preset. Okay. So once I take this here, you guys can see I do have my timeline exactly over here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you guys a few of the different animations. Okay. So the first thing is let's go to this elements option, and from elements option, what you guys can do is you guys can basically search for a scenario. Okay. So let's say road, and after writing this, let's click on enter. And over here, if you just click on see all, here you guys can see that you do have all of these roads. Okay. So from here, let me just take one. Let's come down. Let's take this particular road. And what I can do is I can come here and basically I can just place this one right over here if you do want to put. Okay. And also from magic recommendation, I will click here to see all. Okay, so over here, you guys can see I do have all these things. Let's say from here, if I do want to take some others, I can come here. Let's delete this one, and I will just take this particular image. Okay, so I will just place this image up accordingly. Okay, let's click over here on top, and let me just place this one accordingly. Okay, so if you do want me to come here on top, you guys can just come here on top as well. Let me just decrease the size. And once you're done with placing this one, let's open this one up and let's try to add more scenarios. Let's say I will just add another one. So from here, now the next thing what I need to do is let's come to this particular place. And from here, now I will try to look for other options. Okay. So over here, let's try to check all of these things. Okay. Let's say there are different kind of roads. So from here, I will just take out this particular road as well. And now, let's say I will just increase the size from here. And also from on top, I will just increase the size. Let's decrease it over here. And what you guys can do is decrease the size from top as well. And towards this particular page number 3, okay, so I'll just select this page number 3 right over here. And you guys can actually check for more options. Okay, so over here, there are a lot of magic recommendation, but from here, I will basically choose according to myself. Okay, let's say this one. And now again, I will just keep one thing right over here. And now let's come here and let's decrease it from this particular corner. Okay, so as I do have these 3 scenarios, so what I gotta do with these 3 scenarios is basically first one, I will come here and I will just go back onto my elements option, and from elements option, I will just type for walking. Okay, so let's say I will just type walking and I will click on enter, and here you guys can see there are a lot of recommendations. But over here, I want to use something quite like this. Okay, so in that case I can basically filter that out. Okay, so over here in animation, you guys can see once I click on the walking filter, here you guys can see under animation I will select static, and now here you guys can see these are the static options. Okay, but instead of static, okay, let's come here. Instead of static, if I just select animated, okay, here you guys can see these are the options over here. Okay, so you guys can basically use any of this. You guys can check out which one do you want to take. So for me, I will just come over here on top, and basically I can just select anything from here. Okay, so there are a lot of options from which I can use. Let's say I will just take this one, and now what I can do is I can just decrease the size of this particular animation, and now let me just place it right over here. Okay, so now I will just place this particular thing right over here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create up a animation. Okay, so in that particular case, again, what you guys can do is, let's say I will just come to this particular part, and now I will just decrease the size. Okay, let's say I will just decrease the size, and the same way what I'll do is I will just place it right over here. And now I want to create some animation. So let's first select this one, and once you have selected this one, what you guys can do is let's go or let's come over here. And if you do want to edit this image, there are a lot of ways of how you can do that. So let me just go on to clearing all of this. Let's go to animate, and from here animate option, make sure you choose the create an animation option. Okay, so I'll just click on create an animation, and over here you guys can see there are few of things. So you need to select and drag an element around the canvas to create your animation, and make sure when you're doing so, you guys are clicking onto your shift button to create a straight line. Okay, so you need to control the speed of the animation by moving the element faster or slower. Okay, stop dragging the element to complete your animation. So now I will make sure that I click on shift, and now over here you guys can see that I am just creating an animation right over here. Okay, so I will just create an animation right over here, and also you guys can just select the speed quite like this. Okay, so now you guys can increase or decrease the speed over here, and under movement styles, here you guys can see now this one quite looks that great, but for me I will just go with steady, or let's say I can also go on with the smooth option. Okay, so over here the smooth one looks quite slow. Over here you guys can see now. Okay, so from here let me just decrease this one, and from here now let's go with the steady option. Okay, so for steady this one kind of looks good, and the same thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, I will select this one, and from here now let's click on shift, and now I will just come here and I will just make out a straight line of here. Okay, so you guys can see how it actually looks. And if you do want to change it, okay, if you do want to delete the path, make sure to click on shift again, and let's move it onto the straight line. Otherwise, let's go control back, or let's delete the path. Make sure you just create up a straight line. Okay, so here you guys can see the speed is so fast, but what I can do is I can just decrease the speed from here again. Okay, so I'll just decrease the speed from here, and what I can do is I will just go with this steady option. Okay, so over here this is how it actually looks, and what you can do is you guys can just increase the size as well. Okay, so once you have increased the size, let's come here and let's just decrease it to 9 seconds. Okay, let me just play this one over here, and this is how it actually looks. Okay, you guys can see both of this are actually changing the path. Okay, so at this particular point, let's say I will come over here, or let's say I will just come to this particular position. Okay, let's say I will come here, and what I can do is I can just give this one up a cut. So to give a cut, let's right click onto this exact position. Well, let's come here, let's give this one up a position, and now I will just click on split page. Okay, so I'll just split this thing up, and let's select this one, let's click on delete, and this is how it actually looks. So now I will just come here, and once this one is ending, I will come to this particular place. Okay, so from here now I will just select a car. Okay, so I'll just click on car option, and here you guys can see there are a lot of options over here. So under animation again, I will just go on animated, and here you guys can see there are a lot of animated cars. Okay, so in that case, now again, what you're gonna do is you're gonna come right over here and you are going to use any of these animated cars. Okay, so let's come here, let's select this one. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna come right over here, go to flip option, and let's give it a horizontal flip. Okay, so now if you do want to increase the size a little bit, you guys can come here and you guys can basically increase the size. And let's say I will just maintain this particular lane. And now let's go to this animate option and let's click on create an animation. Okay, so now let's click on shift, and now slowly you guys can just move this thing up. Okay, so slowly move this thing up and make sure it just goes out of the frame. Okay, so this is how you guys can actually create this. Okay, let me just increase the speed a little bit right over here. And also now I will just use the steady option. Okay, and once you're done, let's go back, and instead of this one, let's try to put up this one. Okay, let's put out this particular graphics over here. Okay, if you do want to place this one, if you do want to give or change any color, you guys can come here and basically change out a color as well. Okay, so this is how you guys can actually work with all of these options right over here. And also for that, you guys can select this particular thing, and now let's go to animate, create an animation. Let's click on shift and let's try to move this one up over here. Okay, let's come here, let's just select the path, and this is how it will just move. Okay, here you guys can see how it's actually moving up over here. And the same way, if you do want to increase the speed, you guys can come here, increase the speed, and let's go with a steady motion over here. And this is how actually all of this works. And lastly, let's come to this particular thing over here. And now I will just try to search for Moto. Okay, so I'll just search for Moto. Let's click on enter, and here you guys can see that I do have all the scooters and stuff. And again, let's go to filter, and from here I will just select animated. Okay, and let's go to all, and here now I don't see any animated graphics over here. Okay, so let's type scooter, and once I've selected the scooter option, here I will just go with animated. Okay, so over here you guys can see I do have these animated options over here. And from here now, let's say I will just select this one, and now let's give this one a flip. Okay, so I'll just give this one up a horizontal flip over here. Let's decrease the size quite like this. Okay, at this particular place, let's just place it over somewhere over here. Okay, let me just place it somewhere over here at this particular position. Now let's select it. And now what you're gonna do is you are going to come here and you are going to play it. Okay, so let's say I will come here, let's animate this one again. Okay, so I will come here, let's create an animation. Let's click on shift, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna come right over here. Okay, so you're going to come over here and place it accordingly if you do want it. Okay, if you do want to delete the path, you guys can come here and directly delete the path over here as well. But also at the same time, let's say if I do add another box over here, otherwise Control X, if I just select this whole thing up and let me just duplicate this one. Okay, I can come here and basically I can duplicate this one as well. Okay, let's come here, let's just duplicate this particular path. But over here now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place it. Okay, let me come here and let me just zoom in a lot more. Okay, let's come over here on down. Okay, let's come here on down part, and let's say I do want to move it up over on top, and let's increase the size of this one again. Let's increase the size from this part again. And what I can do is I can come here and maybe place it over here. And the same way, if you do want me to increase the size, I can basically increase the size from here as well. Okay, so under transition, what you guys can do is you guys can basically give me a proper transition as well. Okay, so let's come here, and from here now let's play this one. Okay, let's come here. Let's just play this one. And from here, you guys can see there is no static change. Okay, there is a direct cut option right over here. But what I can do is I can come here. Let me go to animate. And from this animation option, now I will just select this one. Let's say create an animation. Now let's click on shift. And now you guys can basically move. Okay, let's move to this particular place. Okay, and now here you guys will be able to see the difference. Okay, let's play it right over here, and exactly it will come here and change accordingly. And lastly, for now, let's select this one. And what I'm gonna do is let's come right over here. In between this option, let's go to add transition, and I will select this match and move option. Let's select 1 second. Let's click on enter. And over here, you guys can see match and move animates identical elements smoothly between pages. Okay, so over here, I don't want to use this chop option. I will just use this particular thing. Let's come here. And now let's just play this thing up. Okay, let's just come here. Let's play this thing up. And over here, you guys can see that this is how it actually works. Okay, so here you guys can basically work like this. Let's say I will just select this one, and now I do want to just animate this one. So I will come here. Let's go to animate, and from here, let's select right click. And if you do want to split this page, you guys can come here and basically split this page as well. Let's say create an animation. And what I can do is from here, let's click on shift, and slowly I can just move this out of the frame. Okay, so slowly you guys can just move this thing out of the frame over here. Okay, and you guys can work accordingly. Let's say if you just want to decrease the size from this particular end, let's just try to see up a preview. Okay, so here you guys can just see up a preview. Let's say from this particular end, I will just decrease the timing as well. Okay, let's come here. Let's move this playhead. And here you guys can see that this is how it will just move out. Okay, so the same way, if you do want to decrease it to 4 seconds, let's come here. And over here, you guys can see it will just move out of the frame accordingly. Okay, so lastly, if you do want to add any kind of music, let's go to all. And from here, I will just try to search some audios. Let's search for nature. Okay, so I'll just click on nature. Let's click on enter. And here I will just go with happy nature. And let's try to check. And over here, you guys can see I do have different options under audio. Okay, so let's go back from here, and I will try to check out from here itself. Okay, let's go with happy. And for this one, I will come here and I will just drop this particular music over here. Okay, so now you guys can see, if you do want to move it up, you guys can come here and you guys can just move it up as well. Okay, let's say I will just select from here, and let me just place this thing accordingly. And now let's select outside, and let's try to see how it actually looks. So yeah, this was the thing which I do have created right now. If you do want me to trim this one a bit, okay, let's go. And I can just trim this one accordingly. Let's say this is how it will just transit. Let's come here. Let's decrease it by half a second. Okay, let's come here. Let's play. And let me just decrease this one by a little more. And now let's play this thing up. And yeah, this one kind of looks good. And lastly, I will just save this thing up. And for that, let's go to share. And from share, let's click on download. And I'll make sure that it is in a MP4 video format. And I'll just click on download, as I don't want this as separate files. So yeah, I hope to see you all in the next chapter. I hope you guys do have understood this class on how you can actually create an animated video in Canva. So see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye, everyone. Hello everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of graphic designing and video editing in Canva. So now we are on our chapter number 30, where I'll be creating a stunning presentation video. So over here, we'll be learning about a presentation, how you can actually present different kind of informations through Canva. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So well, as you guys can see right now, I am over here in the home page of the Canva. And first thing first, let's go to the videos option from here. And let's come here and take the 1920 into 1080 pixel size. So let's create this particular preset, or let's create this blank document over here. And now the first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this blank page over here. Let's come to the top left corner. Let's go to the background color option and I can basically choose different kind of gradients. Okay, let's say I will just take out this gradient over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to decrease the size to, let's say, 3 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to decrease this one 3 second over here. And what I'm going to do now is let's go to this elements option. And I do want to take some of the images. Let's come here. Let's go and take this Taj Mahal. Okay, so I'll go and see all the images from here. And I do want to take one images which I do want to use over here in my document. Okay, so let's search for the one, whichever I do want to take. Let's come here. Let's take this image. And what I'm going to do now is let's go to edit image option. And from here, I will just try to remove the background using the BG remover. Okay, so it will basically remove the background of my image over here. And what I'm going to do is let's come here. Let's just increase the size, or let me just place it exactly over here on the center. And once I do have actually put this one over here in the center, I am going to go here into the text option and let's add up a text box and let's type the Taj Mahal. Okay, so I'll just type this thing out. Let's select this whole thing up and let's make it bold. And after that, you guys can come here and select that what kind of font are you planning to use. Okay, so let's come here. Let's check this Anton. Otherwise, let's check this Horizon one. Otherwise, let's go with the Fabrica. Okay, and once I do have selected this, what I can do is I can just increase the size of my text basically from here. Okay, so let me just come here. Let me just increase the size from here. And now I will just try to place this one over here in the center. Okay, so let me just place it right over here as the Taj Mahal. Okay, and here, as you guys can see, I will just place this thing over here accordingly. Okay, so let me just place it right over here accordingly. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to animate these things up. Okay, let's come here. Let's try to animate this. Let's select this one. Let's click on animate. And under animate, what you're going to do is you guys going to go to the baseline option. And let's select this one from where I will have it on top. Let's decrease the speed from here. Okay, as you guys can see. And let's take this particular text and I'll just go to the baseline option, but I do want it to appear from the top. Okay, so now this is how I want it to apply over here. And once it comes like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right over here and I'm going to basically decrease, or I am going to actually right click and I do want to duplicate this particular page. So now I'm over here in my page number 2, and this particular way what I can do is I can come here and I can just decrease the size and I'm gonna place it right over here in one side. Okay, so I will just come here, I will just do that, and the same way I will just decrease the size of this particular thing, and let's say I do want to put it over here in one side. Okay, so let me just place it right over here. And now I'm going to add another text box. And over here, I will just type history of. Okay, so I'll just type this thing out. Let me just increase this one box. And what I can do is I will just increase the size and let me just place it over here on top. Okay, so if you do want to place it somewhat over here, you guys can just come here and basically place it somewhat over here. Let me add up a text box, but now I will just change the type of font. Okay, and let me go to my search engine, and over here I do have all of this information. Let me come here, take all this, Control C, and what I'm gonna do is, again, let's go to Canva. And over here, let's click on Control V. Okay, so I do have all of this information right over here. Let me just decrease it. And now let me just place all this information over here in one corner. Okay, let me just place it right over here. And now I would want to put out a transition in between. So for the transition, let's come here and I will just select this match and move option. And for that, I will just give this one up a 1 second duration. Okay, so I'll just give this one up a 1 second duration, and this is how it will actually appear. And now just look at the transition of how it actually looks. Okay, so this is how it actually works right over here. And now again, I will just add another page, or let's go back. And what you're gonna do is let's come here, and from here, let's right click, and you guys can basically duplicate this page over here. Okay, let's come here. Let me just duplicate this particular page. Let me just increase it, or let me just keep it right over here. And now what I'm gonna do is if I just play this thing up, let's say this is how it will look. But the same way, I will just double click, select all, and I will just type the Great Wall of China. Okay, so I'll just type this thing up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this one centrally over here. Okay, so I will just come here. I will just delete this thing. Let's say I want to increase the line spacing or decrease the line spacing from here. And once I'm done, I will just go to my elements, and from here I will just delete this search. And the same way, I will just take out this image which I already have right over here. Okay, so I will just take out this image which I basically have over here. And if you do want to move this thing over here on top, or let's say I do want to decrease it, I can come here and basically I can just decrease it from here as well. Okay, so if you do want to go down, you guys can come here, basically go down, and let me just decrease the size. Let's come here, let's place it quite like this. Okay, so once you're done, let's come to this particular option as well. And now let's right click, and you guys can just duplicate this particular page. And what you're gonna do is you guys can just bring this particular thing right over here. Otherwise, Control X to go back, and over here right click, let's click on duplicate this page. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna come here and basically decrease the size, okay, of this particular thing right over here. And now let's just decrease the size over here as well, but I'm gonna come here, place it just underneath. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take another text box. Let's add up a text box and let's type history of. Okay, so I'll just type history of. Let's decrease the size and let's place it right over here. Okay, so I'll just place it right over here. Let me add up a text box and let's go with Anton. Okay, so I'll just take Anton. Let's come here, and now I will just copy this particular thing. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll just copy this one, Control C to copy. Now let's go to Canva back again. Let's select this whole thing up, Control V to paste. Let's decrease the size, and after that let's move it up, and let's come here and let's just decrease the size over here as well. Okay, so I'll just decrease the size quite over here as well. Let me just put out the description over here. And for the background color, if you do want to change it, okay, let's say if you do want to change the color, you guys can come here and basically change the color as well. Okay, so now once I do have applied this one, let's try to animate what all is not animated right over here. So let me take this one. Let's go to animate, and from here now let's go to baseline, and I just want it to appear from top, but I will just decrease the speed from here. And the same way, let's come on to this one. Let's go to the baseline shift again. Okay, and let me just place it right over here. Okay, let's come here. Let's select it for 3 seconds, and I do want this one as 3 seconds as well. Let me decrease this one as 3, and let's decrease this one as 3 as well. Okay, let me play this one, and this is how it will now change over here, as you guys can see. And now this is how it will appear, and again this is how it will actually change. So same way, you guys can select this one and animate those things accordingly. And if you do want to change out the background color, you guys can come here, and eventually you guys will be able to change out the background color as well. Okay, so if you do want to take that, you guys can come here and you guys can just select it. Let's go to the background color option, and from here let's say you guys can just take out a different color, and Now the same way, let's go to this one. Let's select it. Let's go to the background color option. And from here, you guys can check which is the recently used one. Okay. And now again, let's go to this first one. Let's select this text. Let's place it right over here. And now let me just play this one up. This is how it looks. Now it will disappear. And again, here you guys can see this is how it will appear. And again, you guys can see this is how it will look. Okay. So lastly, if you do want to add up any audio, let's go to elements. From here, let's type audio. Let's click on enter. And here you guys can see I do have this particular audio. Let's place it over here. And now just play this one up. So yeah, this is how it will actually look. And lastly, go to share option, go to download and make sure to download it in an MP4 video format. So yeah, I hope you guys to have understood this whole tutorial on how you can actually create some stunning videos, some stunning graphics in Canva. So keep on practicing Canva, keep on learning more about it. Take care everyone. See you all in any other class. Hello guys, so now this is the time for our class project and this is the class project 1 where I'll be showing you guys by making an image popping out of frame. So first let's see the steps, what all we need to follow, then we'll move on to Canva and see how it's done. So as you guys can see, the name of the class project is making an image popping out of frame. So I do have a description and outcome which you guys can refer. But for me, I will directly go on to the steps. Step 1, create a new design. Step 2, create two similar size frames. Step 3, take an image and remove the background accordingly. Step 4, change the color of one frame and stack the other on top of it. Step 5 is duplicate the image and place it properly on top of the other same image. Step 6, save the file and upload it in our project panel. So now let's go to Canva and let's see how it's done. So here's the home page of Canva. And first thing first, I need to create up a new design. Okay. So to create up a new design, let's go to custom size. And from here, I will take 1080 into 1080 pixels for this one. And now once I do have this, let's go to elements. And from here, now I can just go down and take these frames. Let's take this circular frame over here. Let's decrease the size. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna come right over here, click on Alt and duplicate this frame accordingly. Okay, so take this frame, let's go to the color option. And from here, you guys can basically change one color of the frame. Let's say, let's go with this color and let's come to this particular frame. And what you're gonna do is just put this frame on top of the other. Okay, let's select both of this. Let's come here. Let's try to place it in the center. And now let's go to elements again. And from here, now I will just type portrait. Okay, so I'll just type portrait. Let's click on enter. And here you guys can see I do have a lot of these images. Okay, so let's take this one. And what I can do is I can come here. I can go to edit image option. And from edit image option, I am going to change up the background. So let's click on BG remover. And now I do have removed the background of my image. So the same way, let's click on Alt. Let's duplicate this one. Okay, let's come here and I do have duplicate the same image right over here again. Okay, and now what you're gonna do is you're gonna come right over here and you are going to place one image inside. Okay, so I'm gonna place one image inside. Let's say if you do want to decrease the size, this is the way of how you will be able to do so. So just place this one accordingly over here on top. Okay, and now once you're done, let's come here and let's just lock this one. Let's go to lock and I will just lock its position only. Or let's say I will just come here, I will just lock permanently. Okay, So once you are over here, make sure to place this accordingly. Okay. And once you are done, let's say I will come here and I will try to place this one exactly. So for that, you guys can just zoom in right over here. Let's say if you do want to move on top a little bit, let's come here and you guys can just move over here somewhere. Okay, let's come to this particular place. If you do want to move on to the right, you guys can come here and basically you guys can just move on to the right. And now let's zoom out again. Okay, so I'll zoom out. Let's just crop this thing over here, and this is how it actually looks. Okay, so let's come here. Let's unlock this particular layer, and lastly let's select all of this and you guys can just group it. Okay, let's say I want to increase the size of this particular group, and this is how you guys can just increase the size accordingly. So let's zoom out from here as well, and this is how it actually looks. And yeah, I hope you guys do have understood how you can create this kind of effect in Canva. Lastly, make sure to go to share option. Let's go to download and just download in a format whichever you like, and click on download and upload it in our project panel. So I'll be waiting for you guys to send me your work that I can check those and get back to you guys. Take care, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome you all to another class project. And over here, this is the class project 2, where I'll be showing you guys by creating a pop-up animated video. So first, let me show you guys the steps. Then we will move on to Canva and see how it's done. So let's see what other steps we need to follow first. So over here on my screen, as you guys can see, the name of the class project is creating a pop-up animated video. Okay. So well, over here, I do have a description and as well as I do have an outcome, which you guys can refer. But for me, I will directly go on to the steps that we need to follow. So step 1, create a new design. Step 2, create any shape. Step 3, put animation to it. Step 4, take a graphic and put animation to it as well. Step 5, show timing of your layers and place those accordingly. Step 6, save the file and upload it in our project panel. Okay, so now as this is basically done, now let's move on to Canva and let's see how it's actually done. So over here, as you guys can see right now, I am in the home page of the Canva. So as you're working with videos, let's go to the videos option. And from here, I will take the default size, which is 1920 into 1080. Okay, so let me just take this 1920 into 1080 size. And over here, now the first thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the elements option. And from elements, I am going to take out a shape. So let me take this rectangle over here. And now from this rectangle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a box quite like this. Okay, let's say I will just keep that particular box right over here. And now let's go to color option. And from color option, basically I can change out the color. Okay, so I can just select from here. Let's go with this particular color. Okay, so I'll just take out this particular color right over here. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here. Let's click on this and let's go to animate. And from here, I want to just do baseline animation. Okay, and I will just decrease the speed quite a bit over here. Okay, I will just decrease the speed right over here. And the next thing is go to the elements option. And from the elements option, search for car. Okay, so I'll just search for car and I will just enter this. And from here, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here. Let's go to photos and I would like to see all of this. Okay, so once I have this one, let's take one image right over here. And what I can do is I can just place this one somewhere over here. Let's just decrease the size a bit. And now let me just place it somewhere right over here. And now let me just decrease the size from here itself. Okay, so I will just decrease the size from here itself. Let's just increase it a bit. Okay, let's come here. Let's increase this one a bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it right over here. And the same way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to animate option. Let's go to this baseline shift. But over here onto the baseline shift, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right over here. And I do want it to appear from the side. Okay, but the same way I will just decrease the speed quite a bit over here. And now to give this one up a more stunning view, let's say what I can do is I can come here, and from here, let's right click, let's click on show timing. Okay, so over here now, let's just place this one. And from here, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come at particularly this particular point. And now if I just play this one over here, you guys can see this is how it will actually pop up. Okay, so this is how you want this particular thing to pop out on your screen. If you do want to check or change the background, let's come here. Let's go with a gradient background. So let's come here. Let's select this one. And the same way, if you do want to change out color, you guys can come here and change out color as well. Okay, let's say instead of this one, if I come over here, or let's take this one or this, or you guys can take out all of these colors. Let's come here. Let's change this shape color as well. Okay, so let's go with dark. Okay, so I'll just take this black color quite over here. And now let me just play this one. And once this is done, this is how it will appear on the screen. Okay, so once you are done, let's go to the share option, and from share, let's click on download, and I want to download it in a MP4 video format. So I hope you guys have understood how you can actually create a pop-out video over here in Canva by cropping on the sides, then putting on animation accordingly if you do want to change out the background. And also you guys can actually put on different icons, which I have showed you guys in my previous class. Okay, so I hope to see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone.